back there on page 112.
I can't wait to get out of school every day.
The wavelength must be in A.
I thought we would work through it.
The place is like a prison.
On the Grecian urn.
Buenas tardes, doña Margarita.
I feel trapped in it.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes.
Let's begin right with the first one.
You're always told, you got to do this. You never get to do anything on your own.
Is 1.60.
And you don't have any freedom. It's run more like a prison. I sit in there, I daydream out the window.
It has to do with the structure of the atom.
Right now, I have no desire to learn anymore.
Somehow we have not communicated to children that the idea of going to school is not to get grades, or to pass, or to get into college, or to please the teacher. It's to learn. The whole purpose of education is learning, and the children don't seem to understand this, and I don't think their parents do either.
We have to learn how to develop programs that are going to be interesting to all the children. There are certain disciplines that have to be followed when you have this tremendous number of children.
Quite a few of the children do react negatively to their so-called problems, but most of them seem to have a goal and seem to know what they want to do.
That's true. In this house, there is a teenager who has a goal and knows what he wants to do. There are many such houses, and many like him across the United States. His name is Bob Snow. Bob is president of the National Honor Society at Lexington and a prize-winning student.
I can understand how some kids would see it as a prison, really, because for me, it was a prison for a long time. A lot of them, too, get the feeling that they're sort of in an IBM world, and all the students are going on to IBM cards, which cuts down on the individual interest that you have for each student. It just isn't very personal.
We're experimenting more than we ever did. It takes time. We're going to just, well, we've just got to, it's the process of making mistakes and correcting our own mistakes and studying all the time, watching all the time to be sure that the things we are doing are right.
I think that a lot of the kids sort of feel machined out. And of course the college boards.
College boards. This is the tool that machines out students. It's a pamphlet called Scholastic Aptitude Test, or SAT. Just how a teenager does on this test determines very largely whether he will go to college or not, and if so, which one.
There's one day that you lay everything on the line. You determine your next 4 years and perhaps the whole future of your life. This is all determined in a rather impersonal test. When you walk into the exam room, everybody just tries to fill up the few minutes before taking an exam with this sort of inane chatter. You know, you don't talk about it. This is supposedly the sum total of 12 years of training, 12 years of being a person, of becoming involved in activities and with teachers and people, and they're judged by one test. everybody realizes how important these are. And when they leave, they tend to look rather browbeaten and harried.
Sad I'm not going to college. No. What can I say? I'm supposed to take the achievement test this afternoon, but I'm not coming back. I'm gonna go to work. I can't take any more tests today. 3 hours is enough.
Well, it's unfortunate for those colleges if they're only using the SAT or the aptitude test to make this judgment, because I think that this is only a small sampling of the behavior of a youngster on a particular day. We're going to have to recognize that this is a situation with which we're going to live with for a number of years because of the large numbers of youngsters trying to get into college and because of the few small openings in college. I think the statistics show that there are increasing numbers of youngsters who are finding difficulty coping with the situation.
A short distance from Lexington in Boston is the adolescent unit of Children's Hospital, one of scores of such institutions throughout the country being overwhelmed by young people finding it difficult to cope with their problems. An authority who talks to these teenagers every day is consultant psychoanalyst Dr. Herbert I. Harris.
One of the things that our population pressure has produced and the largeness of some of the universities has produced is a kind of anonymity, a very difficult thing for an adolescent to tolerate. The problem of suicide seems to be increasing in intensity. I heard not too long ago of one of the larger Midwestern universities where in one school year there were over 30 suicides, and this all in the adolescent age group. The waiting lists of our psychiatric clinics are notorious for their length because the pressures to which the adolescent of the present day is subject are much more intense.
You worry about what you're going to get in your college boards, and you worry about what college you're going to get into, and you worry about your grades. Perhaps you worry about whether you're going to be able to finish it because of money, and you worry about whether you're going to graduate school or not, and then you worry about your profession. Then pretty soon you start worrying about if you're going to be a success in your profession.
Sometime all you can do is pull down the shade and shut out the world.
Four blocks, the world of Lexington's teenagers. Brigham's, the ice cream parlor which couldn't hope to handle 4,130 teenagers, is now closed. It shut down several months ago. Some say the problem of dealing with teenagers forced it to do so. So Lexington's kids have an even tougher time deciding where to go, what to do, and does anybody really care?
Nothing's given to you. Nothing's ever been given to me or my friends. Maybe there's a lot of kids who have had things given to them, but it's not us.
They don't know how to treat us. If they knew how to treat us, it'd be different.
That's what bothers me. What can we do about it? Gee, it's awful that teenagers are like they are. But gee, does anybody try to look at the teenager's point of view?
The real important thing in this is time. The time to do these things, the time to give of yourself. You can give all of the other things, all of the material things, but these aren't the things that count to human beings that are growing and developing. It's this aspect of one human being giving to another that part of himself to help him grow and develop in a positive way. And all of us are fighting the same battle, this battle of time.
But who has the time? Can this be a practical answer in this busy world?